communication and case management, our COVID-19 response, the accommodate and testing procedures, any that you may have, and we'll make sure that you have access to our contact information as well as the SAS website. Communication. All requests should be made to the Student Accessibility Services Office using Eagle Accommodate. Accommodate is our management system. It is the way in which we communicate not only with our students and faculty, but with each other. It has purposes, and we use it to store documentation, make an admission request, book testing, schedule appointments, and notes to each other within a student's profile or regarding a student's case. This is a process. Review documentation and to the student with 5 to 7 days. Now, respond, a student could be accepted and we move straight through the process, or additional documentation could be needed, where a student receives an email and documentation guidelines so that they're coming back to the office with the appropriate documentation. Nor COVID adjustments should be made with contacting the SAS office. That you communicate with your faculty, make sure that they are making us a part of the process and bring students directly to us. Communicate regarding COVID-19 underlying conditions, those who may be immunocompromised or medically vulnerable or disability related to ADA accommodations should be limited to referrals to SAS. Please take it upon yourselves to accommodate a student without making us a part of the process. Instructors are asked not to receive nor review medical documentation for sake of confidentiality and risk management. Case management. You know, previously, we have divided our case management loads according to the alphabet, but most recently, we've decided to divide them according to schools and countries. We all questions and concerns to SAS, but that specific accessibility counselor within SAS will call us directly. The way that is, I will be using cash with School of Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities, School of Education, and the School of Law. Mrs. B servicing the College of Health and Sciences, Library Sciences, and undecided majors. When at University College, Graduate Studies, and Extended Studies, we're assigning accessibility counselors based on the major area of study or field of study. We'll hear Mr. Terrell Gray, our coordinator. He will often make you aware of our responses in relation to COVID-19.
Everyone, our COVID response process will be used to manage students' requests for adjustments due to COVID-19 and pre-existing conditions related to all curricular and co-curricular offerings, such as learning and academics. Please note that this process and any adjustments that result are temporary and are only in response to the current pandemic. For the review process is to fully consider the individual student situation and their request for adjustment given their unique situation. Now, the options that we will discuss today will be available to individuals who may have one or more of the known factors that present a higher risk of serious illness if they're exposed to COVID-19. A more comprehensive and updated list can be found on the CDC's website. All right, so first up, I'll be discussing our special interest housing option. To date, there is no CDC or health department communication that says that someone who is high risk needs to be alone. However, the CDC does state if your household includes one or more vulnerable individuals, and all family members should act as if they themselves are at risk. SAS is currently offering what we call a special interest housing option, where students who view themselves as high risk can choose to reside with other high-risk individuals. This adjustment is meant to help ease the anxiety of students who are or may be considered at high risk of serious illness if exposed to COVID-19. We want to make it clear that single room is already a preference option on campus, but will be addressed from a disability perspective when applying through SAS. So just to be clear, COVID is not a disability. Should students' pre-existing condition be intensified by exposure, it could move the student's situation into the traditional stream of disability-related accommodation determination. Red Life has shared the expectations for students who are returning to campus housing, prepared for options to separate those who are exposed or test positive to COVID. To our students, we're making it very clear that there is no way to ensure you have zero risk of infection, and that to avoid exposure is to limit your interactions with others as much as possible, take precautions to prevent getting COVID-19 when you do interact with others. Next up, I'll be explaining our process of offering online classes to the students who are at higher risk of serious illness if exposed to COVID-19. NCCU recognizes some students with chronic medical conditions may identify with a heightened sense of risk. We want a population of students to know that the university.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I need everyone to mute their microphones. We're getting a lot of feedback. I think it may, I can't tell who it is, I apologize, but if you're able to mute your mic, please mute your mic.
All right. The university is committed to continuing their academic path. So when it requests for online classes, if an online option for a course and the student deemed high risk by the CDC guidelines, which is to attend in person, this can submit a request for a temporary academic adjustment. Now, make this clear, SAS will not be creating online sections of courses just because a student submits a request. Instead, the online section is not currently available. The student will have the option of being approved for our priority registration list, which would give the option of being amongst the first to register for classes the following semester. In classes remotely will be given individualized consideration and assessed together with faculty. It can offer remote attendance without incurring an undue burden or fundamentally altering the course. SAS will be making a coordinated effort with faculty and staff to ensure the provision of reasonable and appropriate accommodations in regards to the offering of remote and online courses for our students with disabilities. Here is of how SAS intends to do that. So, case management system is to collect and track specific data points regarding student information, which allows us to work more effectively and efficiently with faculty. Current 30% of our current caseload consists of requests for adjustments due to COVID-19. Now, if you notice, SAS is receiving multiple requests from students majoring in biology or request specific online course offerings. SAS will contact faculty to discuss available options that are in reason to offer to those students. I should make it clear today that SAS is an advocate for the university, not just the students. We are aware all classes cannot be held online, and we're to force on delivery. Our goal is accurate and reliable information so that we can ensure we are providing the most effective means for supporting our students who are most at risk to COVID and those with disabilities.
Hear from Ms. Bishara Cox regarding Eagle Accommodate.
You are familiar with Eagle Accommodate. It is our online delivery management system. We do a couple of changes that we want to note. First, the student process begins with each student submitting a request online at the site link given. and that's nccu-accommodate.simply.com. The next is just that Eagle Accommodate requires a different password than MyEOL. That is for student and faculty logins. So all your NCCU email address will be your username. You will create a password that is different or be different than your MyEOL password. If you need to be sent a welcome link, which expires in 24 hours, you email one of the SAS team, or you simply click Forgot Password, leave the Eagle Accommodate login screen. In the process, SAS will review each submitted request and the student's medical documentation. And again, as mentioned, we are considering accommodations based on ADA, as well as COVID-19 temporary academic and housing adjustments. Continue. The interview process includes a student interview. It's an interactive process or student interview. They may contact us as we are limiting in-person visits. They may contact us by WebEx or schedule a phone meeting. Continue. Letter of Accommodation. We will receive all letters of accommodation, ADA, accommodations, or COVID-19 temporary adjustments through the Eagle Accommodate system. The Eagle email on the screen. However, we ensure that faculty are aware and do not assume that this may be a phishing scam. So emails that you will receive from the Accommodate system will be from this email address with nccu-accommodate@simplicity.com. This is a new piece for the SAS office and for faculty who will be receiving letters. The student nation and letters for temporary academic housing adjustments will be received in student and faculty portals in Accommodate. The letters being sent directly to your emails, faculty students will need to log in to their faculty portals to the letters. This is actually an update to the system for all of Eagle Accommodate, and it actually allows the faculty and students to better manage the letters of accommodation. There are measures that you can do in the faculty portal, and it will all be much easier, or the intent is for it to be much easier when your letters are in one place. Another is the electronic signature piece. This is an update to the Eagle Accommodate system overall. And so I like to use the electronic signature for both students and faculty to ensure that you have received the communication and acknowledged it. You'll be able to type in your name and acknowledges the letter of accommodation or temporary letter of academic or housing adjustment due to COVID-19. I'm also going to discuss exit time testing procedures. So now we've seen for the most part, and we're accepting tests, no documentation by email. We're to load their documentation directly into the secure portal using Accommodate. Better for confidentiality, as just easy management of the letters of documentation. Next, all tests and quizzes should be uploaded directly into Eagle Accommodate. Again, as we're going green, we want to receive all documentation as well as quiz and tests into the portal, and that is better for management purposes. Next, for quizzes that are delivered online, please include the extending time and passwords. To describe further, for example, if a student is giving an exam in Blackboard through Blackboard portal, we would ask that the professor or instructor would still add the passwords and include the extended time in the Blackboard portal. The extended time can be extended for individual students. And that's an example using Blackboard. Faculty may use additional, such as My Math Lab or My Science Lab, for testing. We have to remember to expand the time, even half or double time for the students, as this provides the passwords to SAS. We also need to process the acknowledgement of a test room booking through Accommodate. Next, due to COVID social distancing policies, we can have no more than 2 in-person testers in our learning lab at a time. Collaborate with the University Testing Center for additional in-person spaces for those who definitely need to have an in-person extended time testing experience. Again, faculty will still receive Eagle Accommodate notifications for online delivery exams, because we will ask students to continue to use Eagle Accommodate to assess a test room booking, and their faculty will receive the email notifications to them to extend the time, etc. I'll turn
Thank you, Laura. At this time, is there anyone that has questions? Submit them to the chat box.
questions, Ms. Bogle? Question is via email that there's a letter awaiting in the system, or do we check the system ourselves to see if there's a new letter? Eagle Accommodate will provide an automatic notification to your email. Check the portal when there is a letter of accommodation being sent.
I see Rartham had a check mark by their name. They might have a question. Would you like to unmute them?
Yes.
Actually, I think, Barry, you're the only one that can unmute.
I was trying to get in.
All right, thank you. Pro Anderson asked, will the PowerPoint be sent to all deans for distribution to faculty?
It will.
Also, they recorded it so that it could be also distributed that way.
Questions, Dean?
A question came in regarding the statement for the syllabi. Yes, we were contacted and we did provide the updated statement to the point of contact for the syllabus for the fall.
No questions, comments, concerns?
In reference to the most recent question, Provost Anderson said that the statement went out to the county minutes ago. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Anderson. Any additional questions in regards to our procedures and the way that we're moving about in our office or COVID responses? Anyone?
Additionally, Provost Anderson, did you have any comments that you wanted to make? Again, I know it wasn't planned, or did you have any questions?
No, I don't comment. I had a few questions about this semester, so I would just a comment, I guess, is that I would encourage that as students requesting online classes, also to verify that classes are indeed meeting face-to-face or in hybrid. We do have the majority of classes are online or hybrid. I noticed yesterday some of those are not showing up correctly. So ask them to, save a lot of burn if we make sure the students check their schedules closely or check with their professors, because some of the things, accommodations they may request, place. So.
Yeah, that's also clear that we are making sure to refer the students to Banner to check their current, and it was made aware that all of the hybrid courses, there's no status to show that it's hybrid, so we are making sure that the students are checking with their advisors and are also checking the courses themselves so that they are in a face-to-face course and going to their professors. So, thank you.
Provost Anderson, we are also referring students and working with them on the surface with their advisor. We have this type of request.
I realize that I just want to emphasize that that and Banner are not showing up correctly, and they're fast and feverishly to correct it. And as Mr. also said, if no, in showing up as a face-to-face, to make that clear on their syllabus or the course show or whatever, so the students will know what those expectations are.
Are there any additional questions? Additional questions? Again, we'd like to thank you all for logging on to learn about the changes within our department. I do want to give a special thanks and a shout out to Miss Emily Guzman and Chelsea Holtz, who helped us, our phenomenal Division of Student Affairs volunteers. We want to thank you. If you all have any additional questions, Dean, feel free to reach out to our office. If you want to email us or call us with any that you may have thought of after this presentation, feel free to reach out. Additional questions, comments, or concerns? Thank you so much for joining. Have a well on purpose. And thank you.
Welcome. You want anytime. I'm trying to leave the session.